Good evening. Welcome to already the third session of YOTA Online. A first introduction of myself. I'm Lisa Lehners, Papa Alpha to Lima Sierra, and I'm the chair of the youth working group of the IARU Region 1. So the International Amateur Radio Union Region 1. This is also where the youth working group is part of. This entire evening is made together with a part of the youth working group. We will present ourselves a little bit later. And also Youngsters on the Air is part of the youth working group of IARU Region 1. So in the meantime, if you have tonight any question about YOTA, IARU, amateur radio, whatever, you can ask the questions and we will try to answer them later in this session. Use our live streams, but also Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and use @HamYOTA. And we have a team watching all the questions, and we will prepare the answers later for you. So for today, we have again an interesting agenda made together. First of all, we will tell you why are we doing YOTA Online. We only started with this a few months back. The event circumstances, a little bit more about who we are. There will be also a very interesting riddle where you can win even some prizes, so stay tuned. I will talk and everyone else will talk about the sub-regional camps we are doing and also explain what is a sub-regional camp, why are we doing this, and also how you can take part. And again, in the end, we have, of course, the famous prize draw of the riddle. So stay tuned and you can also win some prizes today. So first of all, why are we doing YOTA Online? So there are two main factors why we're doing YOTA Online. The first one is that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to cancel many activities. Actually, all events from mid-March till September are so far already cancelled or postponed. And to be honest, I hope things are going to change soon, otherwise we need to maybe cancel even more events. So we try to do as much as possible online to still stay in touch and to share what we are doing. And of course, you can also make QSOs using our radios, which is also very fun and everyone is doing a lot. And also, lots of youngsters wants to join every year the YOTA events. So with this way, we create an interactive way to still learn more about this and to still gather together. So a little bit more about the event circumstances. So the YOTA online session is first of all open for everybody. It's especially interesting for youth coordinators or if you are willing or organizing youth events for amateur radio, but also if you are a young person and you want to learn more about amateur radio or you are already a young amateur radio operator and you want to learn more because yes, we are showing that there are young people in amateur radio. So again, watch and listen and you will learn more about this. So we also in those sessions we talk about typical topics, about topics and events we organize as a team, also where you can take part in. And I also hope that we inspire you to start organizing similar events in your own country and to invite other young people to those amateur radio events. So like already mentioned, we have special prizes in the end of the YOTA online session. We do this every month, and all those events we have prizes. So also this one we will have interesting prizes for you. And this session will take about 1 till 1.5 hours. So a little bit an introduction. I will hand over now the mic to Claudia, Delta Charlie to Charlie Lima, and she will be sharing who we are and who is the team behind YOTA Online.
Yeah, so hello, I'm Claudia, Delta Charlie to Charlie Lima. And yeah, as you can see here, I'm part of the working group from IARU Region 1. And here you can see all the faces behind the YOTA online sessions. So we're all together preparing and yeah, provide you some more information about YOTA and who we are and yeah, what we're doing. And yeah, I hope you will also enjoy it. This time again, we have some guys responsible for technical stuff, some for the topics, etc. And yeah, so this is all about YOTA Online. And today we also have two guests. It's Martina, she's also part of our team. but she also provided some more information about her about the camp where she also was an organizer. And we also have a guest video from Amelia, Italy Uniform 5, Lima Victor Mike, and she will also provide some information on how they organized a camp, a sub-regional camp in Italy. So, and this time we also had a new idea. It's the YOTA riddle. So we prepared 3 different riddles. So there will be a prize draw, but you don't just have to fill out a form. You also should solve the riddles. So the first 2 riddles are going to be during the session, and we will announce the winners right here in the session. So you don't have much time for this. And for the 3rd riddle, you will have time until Sunday at midnight UTC. And after that, we will announce the winners. And also, no worries, we will also post the riddle 3 on our social media channels. So riddle 1 is about the presentation from the Czech Republic. So I hope you have something where you can take some notes, because we would like to know what was the prefix of the call which was used during the camp, during the Czech Republic camp. And yeah, so you see here you have like 2, it's going to be 2 letters. And then we want to know how many youngsters attended the camp. And the 3rd question is, what was the topic of the lecture on the last day? So together you can combine this, as you can see here, and then you have more or less a solution call sign. And please fill out in the Google form for riddle 1 the solution call sign you will get. You have the QR code here, but we will also provide you the link in the chat. So those are the questions for the riddle of the Czech Republic. I will now introduce you also the other riddles, but before we come to the actual video from Martina, where you will get, you will find these informations, I will shortly show you also the other riddles. So riddle 2 is about the camp in Italy. First, we want to know the first 2 letters of the city where it took place. Then we again want to know how many youngsters attended the Italian camp. And then we want to know who was the other group. So there was another youth group besides amateur radio youngsters involved, and we would like to know who was that group. The first 2 letters are here also enough, but you can also write down everything. And you will again get to a solution call sign. And the 3rd riddle is the one where you have more time. Here we just prepared the questions, where you can also find the answers during the videos. And it will be more tricky. We will give you the tasks to how to solve the riddle 3 later. But just if you want to note already the information, here are the questions for the Czech Republic camp. We want to know what date did the camp start. So the first day the date of the first day of the Czech Republic camp. Then we want to know what was the lower age limit for the youngsters. I'm sorry, it's written up here. It's just we just want to know the lower age limit for youngsters, and when did they got up on Saturday. And the questions for the Italian camp for riddle 3 is how many different countries took part. And they also split it up their financials into 2 groups, so like the incomes and also the outcomes. And we want to know how many categories that they had for the income and how many categories that they had for the outcome. You will find this in the presentation later. And yeah, I will now hand over back to Lisa, because she's going to provide you first some general information about the sub-regional camps.
Yes, thank you, Claudia, for the introduction about the riddles. I think they are very interesting. So listen very well and carefully, then you can win some nice prizes. So I will tell a little bit more about sub-regional camps in general. Also here again, if you have questions, ask them through our live streams on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, using @YOTA. And our team is watching them live, and we will answer them later today. So, sub-regional camps. First of all, what is a sub-regional camp? As you might have heard, we are also organizing every year, except this year due to Corona, a YOTA summer camp. This is organized in the European summer. We had a few years ago a camp in South Africa, which was for the first time in the winter. in the southern hemisphere. And that is our main camp. And it means that we're about 80 participants coming together from teams all from Region 1, so mostly Europe and Africa, a little bit Middle East. And we also have teams from other regions of the world. And they are full week active in a camp with amateur radio, learning from each other, exchanging, learning about how to organize amateur radio youth events themselves. So there are many workshops and many more things. Um, and next to this, we start to organize sub-regional camps. Those camps, they are smaller than the big summer camp. They have about 25 or a little bit more participants. Also, the duration is shorter. It's about a little bit more than 3 days, usually a long weekend. So, for example, starting on Friday, ending on Monday or Tuesday. Also important is that the participants are a member of an IARU Region 1 member society. And that's also the host is a member society of IARU. And the content of those camps is mostly that the young people learn more about amateur radio. So there can be all kind of workshops, presentations, games, but also to learn from each other because you're with a group together from only people from their own age. Let's say between 12, 13 and 25 years. And together you're joining this camp and learning more about amateur radio and also doing many, many cool things. Also here the picture on the presentation is showing our last camp, which we could organize due to COVID-19 because all other ones we had to cancel already this year or postponed. So this was the last one in the Netherlands, in Oosterhout in last December, which was organized by Veron. There we had 35 participants in the middle of the winter in the Netherlands. We had a really fun weekend. But also important is that those youngsters, they become ambassadors of amateur radio because they learn about amateur radio and they also will spread the word about this hobby after this. And they will also share pictures on Instagram, social media, Facebook, in the radio magazines, and tell also to their friends and family about the fun weekend they had. Because we shouldn't forget, amateur radio is a hobby which is not known to many people. And this is a great opportunity to show this, but also to bring your friends or family members to those camps. We have seen in several sub-regional camps that young persons were bringing their friends or their sisters or their brothers or their nephews, their nieces to the camps, and they became licensed ham after the camp. And some of them are really active now for example, in contests. Um, so also here the question is also to IRU member societies. If you are listening, feel also free to reach out to us and to organize a camp yourself because that's also a possibility. So a reminder, feel free to ask questions. And then for tonight we have two presentations, one from the YOTA camp in Italy and one from the YOTA sub-regional camp in the Czech Republic, which was organized by CRC, the Czech Member Society. And this evening, one of the organizers, Martina Oscar Kilo 2 Yankee Lima, Quebec, will present and tell more about the camp in Czech, which was organized in September 2019 and was using the call sign Oscar Lima 19 Charlie Alpha Mike Papa. So first, before we go to Martina, we'll first have again Claudia sharing the riddle because she shared a lot of information and I can imagine you need a little reminder. So listen carefully, but also listen carefully to Martina after this. So Claudia, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So just for you as a reminder, since there was a lot of information and a lot of questions I showed you before, a reminder for riddle 1, which will be answered right in the session to follow for Martina's talk. So we would like to know what was the prefix of the call used during the camp, how many youngsters attended the camp, and what was the topic of the lecture on the last day. So you will have, as you can see around the presentation, you will have first 2 letters, then you will get hopefully to a number with 2 digits, and then 3 letters again. So you will have kind of a solution call sign in the end, and please fill it into the Google form. And no worries, you can also fill riddle 1 first and later riddle 2 again. We will select by the riddles. So yeah, that's what you hopefully will find out during the camp. So the prefix of the call, how many youngsters attended, and the topic of the lecture on the last day. And yeah, hopefully you will carefully listen for these informations now. So we'll hand over to the video from Martina.
Hello, my name is Martina, Oscar Kilowatt 2 Yankee Lima, Quebec, and last year, together with Youth Committee Czech Radio Club, we organized a sub-regional camp, an unusual sub-regional camp called the Westslavs Weekend of Experiences. Let's start with the basics. We spent 3 days from Friday, September the 27th to Saturday the 29th in Blansko near Brno. The location gave us a great chance to invite our friends and participants, also from Oscar Mike, Slovakia. Overall, there were about 18 participants, but only 3 of them had their call signs and 9 were organizers. We have one thing out of the ordinary. We decided to change the age limit. Other YOTA activities have their age limit from 15 to 25 years old. However, we decided to change that and we set a cap from 10 to 25 years old. Because we are aware of the lack of youngsters here in the Czech Republic. Moreover, the Youth Committee is connected to leisure time centers where kids can spend their free time in an electrotechnics club. Well, honestly, the fact that we have had kids made it much more harder for us. Those of you who participated in camps before know that in general there are only few people who don't have an experience or idea what's going on. But we've got kids and they've never heard about Hamradio before. So because of that, our program was more or less just an introduction to the ham world. Let's see how we handle it with that. On Friday, after dinner, we started the weekend with a game to get to know each other. Also connected with learning the phonetic alphabet, following with 2 presentations. First one about ham spirit by our youth coordinator Martin, Oscar Kilowatt 1, Victor Hotel Bravo, and the second one was an introduction to amateur radio and radio wave propagation by Honza, Oscar Kilo 1, Juliet Delta. Later, they had enough information to make their own QSO on 80 meters as Oscar Lima 19 Charlie Alpha Mexico Papa. And also, don't forget, set the rules. They were important. On Saturday, the second day, we were surprised because none of us organizers expected that the kids will be ready at 6 a.m. waiting for the chance to continue transmitting. In the morning, we planned 5 workshops. So we split them into 5 groups by 4 or 5 people. Thus, they had the opportunity to try all the workshops. They received some info about RDF, fox hunting, which was really important for the afternoon's game. Some of them tried kit building for the first time. So they made a J-pole antenna on 2 meters with Indra, Oscar Kilo 1, November Oscar radio. And our guests, Leo, Oscar Kilowatt 2 Uniform Juliet, gave them a chance to make a QSO on satellite. Last 2 workshops were about TX and contesting by Hansa and the basics of electrotechnics and SDR radio with our second guest, Vladimir, Oscar Kilowatt 2 Zulu Kilowatt radio. After lunch, we played a game. It was a mix of RDF and SOTA because we gave them a receiver and they have to find a wrecked plane in the form of transmitter. We thought it would be easy for them, so we gave them about 1 hour. But the kids decided to go through the forest and they felt lost many times, so they came back. And in the end, the whole activity took about 3 hours. On the top of the hill, where the observation tower was, they also got the opportunity to try SOTA with their new antenna. On the way back to the hotel, it started raining, so we had to cancel other outdoor activities, and also the night came, and we gave them some free time. Dinner was followed by presentation by me regarding YOTA, what we are doing. I talk about YCP, December YOTA month, summer camps and SUBREGIONAL camps. So now they know what they can look forward to. The highlight of the day was an off-air contest, which simply couldn't be missed. It was really great to see how the children are improving and that they are able to make up 3 QSO per minute. We started the last day with a lecture about PMR, which preceded in the training PMR contest. Finally, the last presentation was made by my dad, Peter, Oscar Kilowatt 2, Uniform Lima, Quebec, about DX on very high frequencies and microwave. We ended the whole weekend with a ceremony of diplomas and awards for the off-air contest and the PMR winners. And also there was one special award. The kids during the whole weekend had a chance to draw a QSL card, and the winning one was sent to the people who made a QSO with Oscar Lima 19 camp. Feedback was very positive, so we decided to organize more weekends and single meetings like that under our new project, Kids on the Air. We have been planning a lot more activities. However, because of the COVID situation, we had to cancel most of them. Good news is that we are going to have another SUBREGIONAL camp, Weekend of Experiences, this September from the 19th to the 20th. And we are still hoping in more events. I'd say that's all from my side, so I'm giving my mic back to you guys.
So Claudia is now going to present again the riddle from the Czech Republic. I will share my screen. And here again, the riddle reminding what just has been asked. Claudia, can you explain the slide?
Yeah, of course. So I hope you collected all the stuff for the Czech Republic. So the prefix during the camp, how many youngsters attended it, and the topic of the lecture on the last day. And you can already directly fill out the Google form if you want to, and you can later do it again for riddle 2. And I will also now give you the riddles for the next presentation. So when we see the next slide, we first see Amelia.
Yes, and then also before the next riddle is coming, if sorry to interrupt, first introduction to Amelia, because the next presentation is from her. She was one of the participants in the Italian sub-regional camp, which was already a little bit more than 2 years ago. It was also one of the first sub-regional camps. And this one took place in Italy, hosted by the ARI, the Italian Amateur Radio Society, in the place MONTECASSINO. Actually, the place is Casino, and Monte stays for mountain, so it was on top of the mountain. But you will see more in the presentation from Amelia, India Uniform 5, Lima, Victor, Mike. And before we go there again, Claudia will explain the riddle.
Yes, so here for riddle 2, it's the same principle. We also have more or less a solution call sign. And the question for the prefix is, what are the first 2 letters of the city where the Italian camp took place? The second question is, how many youngsters attended? And then we want to know who was the other group of who was involved there. So there was, beside the Hamradio youngsters, there was another group of younger people involved. You often see them also together with ham radio operators, and we would like to know who were they. It's enough if you write the first 2 letters, so that we have a 2-letter suffix. But if you want to, you can also write out the name of this youngsters group, so it's also okay if you provide us a 6-letter suffix. So please collect the first 2 letters of the city, how many youngsters attended, and the name of the other group, or basically who was this other group. And let's see what Amelia is presenting to us.
Yeah, let's go to the video.
Hi guys, I am Amelia, and today I'm going to talk to you about the sub-regional camp in Montecassino. So Montecassino is a mountain in the south of Italy, near the city of Cassino, about 100 kilometers far from Naples. The camp took place in June 2018, from the 21st to the 24th, and 30 youngsters took place from 5 different countries, 18 from Italy, 2 from Hungary, 6 from Croatia, 3 from the Netherlands, and 1 from Spain. We did a lot of activities involving also the scout group of the city, and we had a lot of outdoor activities thanks to the weather that was pretty good. And we had also a radio station active 24 hours a day that every youngster could use. So we also had precious help from Casino Radio Club that helped us preparing the camp and an organization, given some lift from the airports or train station to the site, and it gave us the Radio Shack. And also, of course, it helped other radio clubs to gain some motivation to work with us youngsters. Our major goal was to give the youngsters the opportunity to have fun, make new friends, make new experiences, but still keeping it cheap, so they didn't have to pay a lot to participate. So it all started when Arnaldo, India Zulu Zero Alpha Nancy Echo offered us the place to host the event. It was a scout site near Montecassino Abbey. It has 2 dorms. We divided one for girls and one for boys. And it has bunk beds and bathroom in each dorm. And there is a big outdoor space that we use for activities and to put antennas. And there is a canteen where we eat and a kitchen where we get our food. We asked IARU Lazio Regional Committee for some support for the event, and we also contact the scouts to arrange some activities together. It was very important to us to have the scouts because we thought that by showing them who we are and what we do, they will gain interest and become part of our team. So we also had, of course, to search for some sponsors because the costs were a lot and the main one had to be covered somehow. So yeah, our goal was to make the youngsters share experiences, make new experiences, make new friends, of course, and that's why we tried to keep the program quite easy, to give the youngsters space to make friends. So June the 21st, there was the arrival day. As soon as the youngsters arrived, there was the registration, they were given the gadgets and the t-shirt. Then everybody chose their own bed, and after dinner we started already doing some activities and some socialization. The second day, we woke up in the morning, and we started doing some games to break the ice. We visited Montecassino Abbey. We went there by foot because it was very near to where we were, and it took us almost all the afternoon. Yeah, but it's a very beautiful site and very characteristic. Then on the third day, there was the scouts' involvement. So after giving them a quick explanation about what radio is and the activities that we do, we showed them how to use a radio, how to make contacts and QSOs, and we showed them Morse code and how to use it on the radio. And after that, we all went ARDF together in the nearby woods. After there were some games and free time again, we could use the radio station. The scouts helped us and watched us, we taught them, and we enjoyed our time. The last day, the 24th, was the departure day. So after cleaning everything up and putting away the antennas and radios, we packed our stuff and said goodbye to our new friends. The results of the camp were pretty good. Some of the scouts got in touch with the local radio club and they asked for more activities with the youngsters and for infos on how to get their license. 2 of the YLs, Lucrezia and Giulia, joined the Casino Radio Club and they got the license in November of the same year, so 2018. And now they're part of the YOTA Italy group. So new friendships were made, some still last to this day. We keep in touch and we keep going out even with no radio related occasions. So even the radio club benefits from this camp. They of course gain 2 more members than the already members started being more active. They gained more interest, and then of course they started doing more activities. And they did a CW course that was pretty successful with a lot of participants. And I think that that is the perfect example of how youngsters can be helpful in a radio club. So, talking about money, keeping the camp cheap was not easy, but we managed to do that. So as you can see from the tab below, most of the money went for food and beverages and accommodation. And the feedback was positive, really, really positive. The youngsters had fun, and one of the strengths of the camp was that there were not too many activities. So it was like only one main event for each day, so they had time to socialize, make friends, and use the radio station. And one bad thing about the camp, if there is any, is that it was short. So just the time to make friends and settle down, it was already time to pack things back up and go home. But it was a really good experience, I can say, because I was there. I really enjoyed my time, and I can't wait to go to the next camp. So that was my presentation. Thanks everyone for your attention, and 73.
So I hope you all enjoyed the video of Amelia showing more about the Italian camp. You have now also some time to answer the riddles using the Google form. So you first had the first and the second riddle, the first one about the Czech camp and the second one about the Italian camp. And now you have some time to fill them in. We will later have another riddle, but the answers will not be here today. And also you don't have to fill this one in today, you will get more time. So there's now a little bit time to fill in the Google Forms. And don't forget that you can win some really nice prizes with this. Also in the previous sessions we gave away several hoodies, YOTA mugs, YOTA shirts, and we have shipped them all over the world. We had winners from South Africa to Japan to many places in Europe. So when you're done filling in, I will go to the next part. And this is questions and answers about the sub-regional camps. So you still have the time, and you could have already answered or asked, sorry, not answered, but asked questions about Youngsters on the Air or sub-regional camps, or general questions to the youth working group using social media. And we did receive a few questions, and now I'm going to answer them. I'm watching in the meantime live what came in, so if I'm looking down, you know what I'm doing. So one of the questions we received is that a good one. When will be the next YOTA sub-regional camp? That's a very good question. To be honest, the first one is already planned, which will be next spring in 2021. And this one will be organized in Norway together with the Icelandic team. And this will be the next Nordics on the Air camp. So the NOTA camp in Norway in spring 2021 is the first next official youngsters on the Air sub-regional camp. And then we also, of course, we had to cancel this year the camp in Hungary and in Serbia as well. And we hope that those camps can also be organized later or this year or next year. It all depends on the COVID-19 virus. When this one calms down, we will organize for sure those events. And we'll also start organizing more events soon after this. So when everything is open again and we can travel again, we will start organizing. And the good thing of sub-regional camps is that they are organized very locally or nationally. So it's in a sub-regional area, for example, in the Scandinavics or the Balkans or in the Netherlands with countries around the Netherlands. so people don't have to travel so far. So usually you can go there by car and not always need a plane. One of the next question we received from a previous participant, I think even, how to be eligible to become a participant. So I shared this also earlier. You have to be around 13, 14 years old till the age of 25. And usually when the camp is open, we will share through the website and social media how to apply. So watch social media, but also your national radio website, and there you can find usually links on how to apply. But most important is that you have the right age and that you are interested in amateur radio. So to see if we have more questions. Who to contact if someone wants to organize a camp? That's a good question. If you want to organize a camp, and we're also asking, please, we need people who organize those camps. You can contact me, Lisa Papa Alpha to Lima Sierra, or anyone else in this group, and we can help you to provide you the right information to share this. Let me check if we have more questions. We also received questions about December YOTA month. That's a good one, different topic. So a little bit of background. Every December we organize a December YOTA month, and this is the entire month of December. And many young people come on the air with a special call sign with YOTA, youngsters on the air, and suffix. For example, Papa Alpha 6, Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha. And of course, the nice thing of this one, you can do this from home or from your club station. And we will still be doing this activity this year. I also received a question on how can we participate? When can we apply? We will be sharing also this information very soon after the summer on our website and social media. So stay tuned. But the most important is that we want to get young people on the air, but also that you show your station to other youngsters and to take part with the Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha call sign. Good to know, last year we made more than 130,000 QSOs, almost all made by young people. So that's incredible. And of course, you can also apply for very nice awards when you worked those stations. So let me check one more time if we received new questions. No, we didn't receive any other questions. So I will give the word back to Claudia, who will share more about the riddles again.
Yeah, and a little bit, I will give you a little bit more time to fill out the Google form for riddle 1 and riddle 2. So let's say maybe 1 more minute or something, maybe 2. And then I will give you the tasks for riddle 3. So again, it won't be in this session now. So I will give you the tasks for riddle 3. It's a little bit more complicated, so maybe you have to think a little bit on your own. You also have to check something you probably won't know this by heart. And afterwards, we will see the solutions already for riddle 1 and riddle 2. And then we will also announce the winners. So you have still a little bit of time to fill out the Google form. I will wait a little bit. Okay, so I think you had enough time to fill in the form. Don't worry, you can still do it right now. I will first show you the task for riddle 3, and we will also provide the tasks for riddle 3 online, because you will have time for riddle 3 until Sunday 23:59 UTC. So you have the whole weekend to probably rewatch this session if you didn't collect all informations you need, because it was maybe also a little bit quick. So I will again show you the questions. I hope you've been able to note them already. If not, it doesn't matter. You can still rewatch this session. So for riddle 3, the questions for the Czech camp was the date when the camp started. So the first day of the Czech Republic camp. And then we also want to know what was the lower age limit for the youngsters in the Czech Republic, and when did they got up on Saturday. And for the Italian camp, we want to know how many different countries took part in the Italian camp, and they showed us their financials, and they split it up into 2 groups. I think that was also really useful for those of you who also want to organize the sub-regional camp. So have a look at this, and please see and check how many categories did they had for the in category, and how many did they had for the out category. And with these questions, you can answer or you have everything you need for riddle 3. So riddle 3, the actual task of riddle 3, I will give you now. So it's split it up into 2 parts. Let's first look at part 1. And no worries, you can find this online if it's now too fast for you. So first, take the number of in categories, and then take the amount of different countries from the Italian camp, and take the time when they got up on Saturday at the Czech camp. And then you have already 3 numbers, and then just put a 0 behind. So you will end up with a 4-digit number. And think of this in kilohertz. And you will then hopefully see something. And please just you can also just give us the number, but we will actually want to know what is happening on this frequency. So of course, you know, we're from IARU Region 1. So if you don't know it by heart, I can tell you, I also didn't know that. I just realized the frequency. It should be familiar if you're a Hamradio operator, or in general, just the area of this frequency, let's say it that way. And please tell us what is happening on this frequency. And then for part 2 of riddle 3, take the date of the start in the Czech Republic camp. So it's an 8-digit number in the form first the day, then the month, and then the year. And then please perform a prime factorization. So this might be hard calculating it by hand. Maybe you can find some nice online tools to do it for you. And then look at the highest prime factor. And please note the highest prime factor of this 8-digit number you get from the start of the date, from the start date of the Czech Republic camp. And then take the lower age limit of the Czech Republic camp and square it. So you will have this one here, so please square it. And then multiply this by the number of out categories from the Italian camp, and then multiply this again by the by the amount of countries we had in the Italian camp. And you will get a second number. So please multiply the squared of the age limit with the number of out categories and the amount of countries, and you will here also get a number. And please sum up both the green one as well as the blue, and as well as this number here, and you will again get to a frequency. And please tell us what is happening in this band area. So it's not the specific frequency where there's something happening, but just tell us what is happening in the band area. If you can't figure it out, if you don't know what we mean, then at least write down the frequency you will get from this calculation. But we really would like you to actually look in the band map. And yeah, so hopefully everyone filled out the form for riddle 1 and riddle 2, because I will show you the solutions. And then we will have the prize draw. So solution for the Czech Republic camp, the prefix was Oscar Lima. We had 18 youngsters, and the topic was PMR. So we get to the solution call sign Oscar Lima 18 PMR. And for riddle 2 of the Italian camp, we get a city, Mike Oscar for MONTECASSINO. If you just took casino, which actually is the city, and write CA, that's also okay. We will also count this one, no problem. So we will accept MO as well as CA. And there were 30 youngsters, and the other group were the scouts. So we either want to have SC as suffix, or also if you write scouts as suffix, it was also fine. And yeah, then let's see who won the riddle 1 and riddle 2. And we're also looking forward to see who will solve riddle 3. We're going to please fill out the Google form for riddle 3 as well. Once you solved it, you have time until Sunday night, as I told you before. And we will announce the winners later for riddle 3. So I will hand over, and let's see who won the prize draw.
So we are going to start with the prize drawing now. Today we will have one YOTA t-shirt from our original merchandise store on ham-yota.com/shop. So if you want this and didn't win it today, just go there and go for it. So riddle 1, we had a lot of right answers. One were closer than the others, but we had right answers as well. And the first YOTA t-shirt goes to Poland, to Sierra Quebec 9 Alpha Lima Whiskey. Thanks for participating in our prize draw. And yeah, we will contact you via email, so we can get the sizes and all together and ship it to your address. The next one for riddle 2, another YOTA t-shirt goes to Sweden. So this time not very common call sign on the bands, Sierra Mike 7 stroke 8494, which is a shortwave listener, so-called SWL call sign from Sweden. Congrats, Smilla. You won also a YOTA t-shirt. We will also contact you by email. So we're gonna get this shirt to you as well. So shortwave listeners, just for a little example, are listeners, as they say in the word. So they are not allowed to transmit on the bands. So just listening, and this is kind of a pre-call sign to gain full rights on the HF and VHF and all the other bands. So they're not transmitting, but listening. And yeah, that's it. So if you want to take part in the riddle 3, go for it. Deadline is on Sunday evening, 23:59 UTC time. So universal time coordinated. And then we will announce the winner on the official YOTA homepage, as well as on social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So stay tuned here. So thank you all for participating in this third YOTA online session today. We had great success reaching out to the world again. Lots of guys and girls participating in the prize draw. We had over 30 answers sent in. As I said, some were closer than the others, but we still had some right answers. I want to remind you to follow us to never miss any messages, any news about the youngsters on the air. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, even TikTok or Instagram. And if you have any feedback, just let us know. If you don't want to use the social media part, just write us an email at pr@tam-yota.com. And yeah, we appreciate it that you took part today. You can always rewatch this episode here on YouTube and Facebook. So we recorded everything. And yeah, once more again, thank you for participating, and hope to see you later in the next one. 73s, in behalf of the team, this was Philip, DK6SP 73s, and hope to catch you later.